Hello. Today we're talking about the anti-roll bar, the drive shafts, and starting the rear hub. So to start with the anti-roll bar, they come with these orange bushings that are not installed on the bar, and you have to get them onto the round section of the bar in order to mount it to the chassis. Um, you essentially have to get these rubber uh, bushings over a 90-degree angle turn. Um, Use lots of lube, and also I tried to be gentle with them. You don't really need to do that. I found that the way to do them is stick a screwdriver through the bushing all the way through and just sort of pry them over the corner. It didn't take too long once I figured that out, and was not afraid of the bushings breaking. Um, I was able to sort of mount them, but I was missing a few small washers that I had to source, so I couldn't finish the job in the session. But all I needed to do was get some washers and then tighten it up. The drive shafts are really straightforward. You just insert them into the diff after you remove the little covers on the side of the diff. Um, you make sure they're sided, so make sure you read the label for which side they belong to before you throw away the packaging or even take them out of the packaging. The washer and nut for the drive shaft, the manual said they were in the bag, but I found them in a separate pack. They're huge. The washer and the nut, well, the nut is a 42 millimeter nut, and the washer is similarly sized. The Make sure you get the nuts on the correct side as well. So the passenger side threads, normally you would turn it clockwise to tighten and counterclockwise to loosen. The driver's side is opposite, so you would turn counterclockwise to tighten and clockwise to loosen. And I've been told that this is so that when you're driving and the hub is rotating, it doesn't unscrew itself. Um, and then moving on to the rear hub, the manual is a little bit confusing, so I did it sort of in a few steps. Let me see. So first I installed the ear and I aligned it with the bolts. The ear sort of just goes onto the end of the DeDion tube. You're supposed to put some silicone glue, so I just sort of did that right before I put the ear on and aligned it with bolts. Make sure you align them with bolts before you squeeze it onto the glue, otherwise it might sort of tighten on you and you'll have a difficult time aligning after that. There are three sets of bolts that are all the same threading, but different lengths. So the shortest bolts are furthest rear of the car. They thread directly into the DeDion tube. The longest bolts are in the middle. They go through the DeDion tube, and they have a nut and a washer on the other side. The medium bolt goes on the side that's closest to the front of the car, and they go through the DeDion ears and they go through the plate for the drop links. And then they tighten with a washer and nut. And then once you've got them aligned, take them out one by one and apply copper slip. Um, and then you would insert the bearing over the drive shaft. So the ear goes through the drive shaft goes through the ear, and then the ear attaches to the DeDion tube. Then you put the bearing on to the drive shaft. There's an orientation to it as well. There's only one way where all four bolts will fit. So you get it onto the drive shaft. I used bearing grease. It might take a tap or two with a mallet. Be firm but gentle. And once it's on, you reinstall the bolts, the four bolts that go through, which are the two medium length bolts that go through the bearing, the DD on ear, and the drop link plate. and then the two longest bolts which go through the bearing, the DeDion and then the two holes on the DeDion tube, and then have a washer and nut all the way in the back. Once you get all of those in, you can sort of tighten them, torque them to 47 Newton meters, and then you take the drop links and you get a couple of wrenches, make sure that the two ends of the drop links are facing opposite directions. Uh, and then you nut one to the bottom of the drop link plate, and you nut the other side to the anti-roll bar. The manual showed tying it to the third hole out of four on the anti-roll bar, so that's what I did. Um, I think that's it for this session. I think I started on the rear hubs, and I realized that sorry, not the rear hubs, but the brake calipers, um, and I think I realized that the spacers, I had four spacers and they weren't all sized the same, so I need to figure that out. Oh, and if you actually get to it, the rear brake disc, you just slide it on. That's it for the session.